Sickle cell disease is a chronic illness, and yet you don't see any adults among these patients. That's because sickle cell disease has long been ignored and not sufficiently treated. As a result, in African countries with limited resources, around half of all children suffering from the disease will die before the age of 5. Sickle cell is a genetic disease, and it's the most common in the world. According to the World Health Organization, over 7 million people suffer from sickle cell disease worldwide. 80% of them live in sub-Saharan Africa. Sickle cell disease is an abnormality of the hemoglobin that carries oxygen in the blood. Instead of being round, the affected red blood cells are sickle-shaped. They circulate poorly in the bloodstream, resulting in poor oxygenation of tissues and damage to vital organs. What does this look like in reality? Children who are constantly anemic, tired, and unable to pursue a normal school life because they are regularly hospitalized for very intense attacks of pain, known as vaso-occlusive crises. They are also highly susceptible to infection. Sickle cell disease is said to be the disease of pain. Children with untreated sickle cell disease are either constantly in pain or afraid of being in pain. They also face stigma due to the physical impact the disease has on their appearance, and because the disease is sometimes associated with witchcraft because it is not well understood. For a long time, the medical teams, including an MSF, could only offer these children pain management and the treatment of acute complications. The capacity to treat this long-ignored disease was limited to big cities and therefore out of reach for the vast majority of patients. To go further, over the past few years, programs dedicated to sickle cell disease have been set up. In 2021, we opened a project in Niger, as well as in the Central African Republic, Kenya, and Uganda. Once diagnosed, these patients are integrated into a long-term care program. The first component of this program is therapeutic education. Disseminating knowledge about the disease enables patients and their families to better manage life with it. This includes avoiding playing sports when it's particularly hot, sleeping with a mosquito net to avoid malaria, and eating a suitable diet to boost red blood cell levels. Teams can also act to reduce the risk of infection by administering penicillin to these children over the long term, vaccinating them, particularly against pneumococcal and meningococcal infections, and giving them folic acid daily to prevent anemia. The last significant improvement in care is the recent arrival of hydroxyurea in some of our projects, such as at the Matarumfa District Hospital in southern Niger and at Kasese in Uganda. This drug has been known to be effective in sickle cell disease for 20 years, is highly effective in preventing vaso-occlusive crises, and has been on the WHO's list of essential medicines since 2013. How is it possible that a drug considered essential to the lives of millions of children cannot be offered to those who need it? It's simply too expensive. MSF has engaged in discussions with producers to bring the price down, which has led to an increase in the number of children receiving it. But the price is still too high, and the lack of long-term international funding for sickle cell anemia is still preventing children from receiving treatment. Another obstacle to the widespread use of this drug is the need for biological monitoring, which requires a laboratory with suitable technical facilities. These days, it is possible to cure sickle cell disease through bone marrow transplants or gene therapy, but these innovations are only available in wealthy countries and out of reach of our patients. There is an urgent need to lower the price of hydroxyurea and to decentralize care. As was the case more than 20 years ago with HIV-positive patients, lifelong treatment requires medical follow-up as close to the patients as possible. Appropriate technologies, such as a tool enabling home monitoring and patient empowerment, would finally make it possible to reach hundreds of thousands of sick children who are currently deprived of care.